All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to 3 Up, 3 Down. It is Monday evening, and we're going to get all over the gamut here tonight. We're going to talk a little baseball, a little football, bye week, hockey? Maybe? We'll see. Anyway, let's get into it. So we're going to hit a little 3 Up, 3 Down, and like we always do, I'm just going to kind of riff a little bit on Quinn Matthews, Cardinals Pitcher of the Year. I'm going to give you guys my World Series prediction, and it's going to lead into why I think the Cardinals need to reunite with Randall Grichuk. Let's get right into it. Let's start with the downs, as always. My first down is Bally. And whatever this ownership group is, Sinclair or Diamond, I don't really understand it. I don't pretend to be smart enough to understand cable. I have YouTube TV here in Kansas City, so I can use MLB TV to watch all the Cardinals games. But I can't imagine living in St. Louis and trying to figure it out. I think you can buy it anyway. I think you can buy a stream directly from Bally, but apparently the app is really bad. So you guys tell me, what's up? How are we watching the Cardinals next year? Because right now it sounds like Bally might keep the rights, which is horrifying. I need them out. I need the Cardinals to do it directly. Stream to TV. Cut out the middleman. It sounds like Channel 32 could be an option in St. Louis. I don't know what channel it's called. I think KMOV owns it. But yeah, TV, I'm out. Let's just make it easier to watch sports again. My second down, the NL Central. As always, the Cardinals are the only team that really matter in that division. Period. Brewers, out. Who was the last team to win a playoff series from the NL Central? The Cardinals. 2019 against the Braves. This division has nothing without us. And just remember that. Milwaukee's going to get in, and guess what they're going to do every year? Fall over themselves. Just like they did this year. My third down is your Missouri Tigers. This is the season this weekend. They need to beat Auburn by 2 scores, or they are going to get beat, with me in the building, by 50 in Tuscaloosa. Conservatively 50. I don't know what they have to do on offense to fix it. I went on a rant to some friends this weekend. They're not going to play anybody except Brady Cook. The coaches are only trying to win the next game. They're going to play the guy that gives them the best chance. That's Brady Cook. They also are probably not going to throw deep because clearly what they have seen from Brady in practice every day is that he can't do it. They got to find clever ways to get Luther the ball. The attitude thing, I don't know. He also gets hurt every play. I've been on that for like a year and a half. He's got Tyreek Hill, when he was a Chief, would limp off the field with a career-ending injury like twice a series and then be out there and make another good play. Luther does the same thing. And I think everybody's kind of on to that at this point. I think he got carted off in the Memphis game last year in the Dome and then came back like 4 snaps later. So the injuries are not a concern for him. Get him the ball in space. Make it happen. My ups. Bye weeks for your football team. Peaceful, pleasant, just watch ball, enjoy red zone. Scott Hansen, best in the business. Relaxing. Gotta love it. My second up, the St. Louis Blues. 2-1. The guys that we stole illegally from Edmonton, or legally, someone explain in the comments how that worked. Did we steal them legally or illegally? I don't get it. 2-1, tough loss against the Vegas Golden Knights with the captain Alex Pietrangelo leading the Knights to victory. Still one of the biggest mistakes Armstrong has made. However, 2-1, looking good. This team needs to make the playoffs. Or it's funny, the Cardinals and the Blues are actually on 2 similar paths right now. They have a real GM and they have a figurehead GM. They got Steen and Heim really running the show, but you got Army and Mo still just kind of standing there. I don't really know what their role is anymore. I'd be really interested to see if the Blues have the opportunity to make a big move, which I think they're like way up against the cap, so they probably don't. I'd be really interested to see like who makes that final call. I mean, the ownership obviously gets final say. But I wonder how involved Steen would be. I think his succession is like 2026. But yeah, so the Blues up. My third up, Jack Flaherty and Tommy Edman. Cardinal greats. 2 of the best Cardinals from like 2019 to 2023. Those guys gave me a lot of great memories. I am rooting for them in LA. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I am rooting for the Dodgers, for Tommy Edman and Jack Flaherty. I'll say it. But I think it's really interesting. The playoffs have been littered with Cardinals. The Royals, I mean, I think like a third of their roster was Cardinals. You had Michael Wacha all over the place. Tommy Pham, the quitter, all over the place. Paul DeYoung should have been getting way more ABs in that series. You had Chris Stratton on the DL for that, IL for them. You got Bader on the Mets. You got the Lane train, Lane Thomas on the Guardians, who hit a huge grand slam to send them to the ALCS. And the Luke Weaver thing, what is going on? If I see a single Cards fan 382 account tweet that we gave up on Luke Weaver too soon, no. I don't think anybody would do that. People are delusional. They're not that delusional. You got Goldschmidt for Weaver. And Weaver hopped around to like 5 teams. He was a Royal. He was a Mariner. He was a Red. A Diamondback, obviously. And now he's like just figured out that, I just throw gas, elevated gas, and I am really good. So it's really interesting. Happy for him. Happy for all the former Cardinals out there. I don't think Bader's getting a lot of PT in New York. I think the fans don't really like him. I don't think he can hit. But Cardinal fans, we knew that. Let's talk Quinn Matthews, Cardinals minor league pitcher of the year. And I believe he was Baseball America's minor league pitcher of the year. This guy is a dog, certified. I had forgotten this, and shout out to my buddy who reminded me of this. Quinn Matthews was the guy that threw 156 pitches in one of his last college games. Complete game against Texas. He threw 156 pitches, and I think he had 16 strikeouts in a complete game effort to beat Texas in, I think it was College World Series, might have been Super Regional. This year, 202 innings, 202 strikeouts in just 143 innings. He got all the way up to AAA this year. He's dealing. I think he's going to be a big leaguer sometime middle of the way through next year. I'll be curious to see because I don't think he's at the point where they have to roster him yet. So they're going to be patient. They're going to develop him slowly, build up the innings. But this is a guy that I think you can start to pencil in the rotation for the next 5 to 10 years if his body can hold up. And I'm not going to pretend to be inverted W guy or anything about pitching. And I think it's just luck. A lot of it is luck. A little bit of his development for sure. But a lot of pitchers staying healthy is just like luck. Are they genetically just able to do it? But that's a guy I think they're going to be able to pencil in for the next 5-10 years, hopefully. Let's talk World Series predictions. So as of now, the Dodgers and Mets are tied 1-1. The Dodgers went with a bullpen game, the second game of the NLCS. I don't understand how they don't have any starters. I guess they're all hurt. How are they all hurt? Miller's hurt. May is hurt. Gonsolin is hurt. Kershaw's always hurt now, unfortunately. Buehler is a shell of himself. That guy, I would love to see the Cardinals pick him up on some kind of bounce back deal next year. Maybe like a Jack Flaherty kind of deal, like 1 year, 15-ish million, and see what he can do for you. Let's say you don't contend and he pitches well, you can flip him for like the Tigers did with Flaherty. Let's say he pitches great, you want to keep him. Let's lock him up long term. Or you let him get to the end of the year. You can give him the qualifying offer if he pitches well. Or if it doesn't go well, it's no harm, no foul. It's a 1 year deal. That's the kind of deal that they need to make. Especially for a guy like that, high upside, but it's not a super financially risky move. But yeah, I'm super curious, like what's going on there with the Dodgers. I still don't really understand how the pitching isn't there. Those guys they had that closed out the NLDS are nails. You had Phillips, Treinen, Vespia, and I'm forgetting the other one. But those guys are all nails. I think the Dodgers have a chance, but like the Mets kind of have that mojo, and Francisco Lindor is so good. He's so good. He's everything you want in a franchise player and shortstop. That deal, worth every penny. I think Steve Cohen tweeted that. He either tweeted it or he said it just directly to the press. All $340 million, 100% worth it. With that said, I got the Yankees over the Mets. I think, and I've really kind of been thinking about this a lot the last couple years with the Cardinals' struggles, both in the playoffs and before. You just need guys that like hit homers. I think that's like all it really is because manufacturing runs in the playoffs is so hard because teams are now so quick to go to the bullpen and get the best matchup. So like, let's say that you need a guy that can just kind of go up there and just hit one like Stanton did in Game 4 in Kansas City. Like they really didn't have a lot going against the Royals. And then he just like hit a 2-run homer and that was like kind of the whole game. You could feel it because the Royals couldn't generate anything offensively. Stanton hits a 2-run homer, and that 3-0 lead felt like 10-0. I mean, that game was over. And with Garrett Cole obviously dealing, that made a big difference too. And the Yankees just have a lot of, they have the 2 best hitters left, in my opinion. two of the three. Ohtani too, but we know the Dodgers curse. I have a hard time seeing how like Judge one doesn't get going, although he did just strike out in the first inning in a huge spot. And Stanton is like a proven playoff guy. I mean, he's been in New York for like 7 years. So he's had a lot of playoff experience, and that guy hits. So really excited to see the rest of the playoffs. Excited to watch Missouri this weekend, the 11 a.m. kickoff. I'm personally a fan. I won't be in Columbia this weekend. I'll be in Tuscaloosa next weekend. Let's hope that it's off a win and not a horrific home loss as like 6-point favorites. Thank you guys for watching. More off-season content to come. We're gonna try podcasting and we're gonna get into the nitty-gritty of, we might dive every position group for next year. Full depth chart layout. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. We'll talk soon.